Sometimes, the weirdest things show up when no one's expecting them. Inhuman beings, strange lights,
Holy oh my god.
and sights that simply don't make sense, from deep forests to mysterious skies.
What the
Our cameras have captured moments that feel too real to ignore and too strange to explain. So, let's get started. One of the strangest videos online shows a being that doesn't look fully human. It's lying on the floor of what seems like an abandoned room, surrounded by debris. The head appears human-like, but everything below it looks unnatural. Instead of legs, its torso splits into several arms that move rhythmically, almost like a spider's crawl. The way it twitches and shifts makes the whole scene feel disturbingly real. Some people believe it's a prosthetic experiment or advanced CGI, while others think it could be a genuine biological anomaly. Either way, it's one of those clips you can't unsee once you've watched it. Poolside creature. A guest at a hotel in Thailand found something seriously strange by the pool. A strange, pale lump with human-like features. The thing wasn't moving much, but its shape was weirdly familiar. When the guest got closer, she noticed small movements, like slow breathing or twitching. Some people online think it's a leftover movie prop or silicone figure, but the way its texture shifted under light didn't quite match that. The woman said she didn't dare touch it, and left it there. Whatever it was, it didn't look fake enough to be ignored, and that's what made this clip so unsettling. Yeti-like creature. Somewhere in Iran, a woman recorded a moment that left everyone stunned. In the video, she's seen warding off a tall, furry creature slowly back into the woods. It looked like a gorilla at first glance, but its face was oddly human-like. The clip went viral instantly, with people debating if it was a Yeti or just a prank gone wrong. Wildlife officials couldn't identify it either, saying there were no such animals in that region. Still, locals swear it wasn't the first time they'd seen something like that moving near the hills. Basement figure. In Argentina, a man went down to his basement after hearing noises and spotted what he thought was a small animal hiding near some boxes. When he switched on the light, his stomach dropped. It had a face, almost human. The figure stayed still, crouched, with messy hair and oddly shaped arms. He quietly recorded it and posted the clip online, asking people what it could be. Some said it looked like a rare mutation. Others joked it might be a prank gone wrong. But what's strange is, he never shared what happened next. The video just ended, leaving everyone curious and uneasy. Banana horror. A woman posted a video that turned everyone's stomach. She had bought bananas from a nearby store, but the next morning, her dog wouldn't stop barking at them. When she checked, one of the bananas looked wrong, like something was moving inside it. Suddenly, thin, fleshy strands started poking out, wriggling as if alive. It looked way too real to be fake. People online couldn't decide if it was a parasite, a fungus, or some kind of staged trick. The woman never followed up, and that's what made it worse, because it left everyone wondering what exactly had been inside that fruit. River creature. While visiting a quiet village in Spain, a traveler recorded something odd near the Aranza River. A man was standing waist-deep in the water, but his body looked strange, covered in thick gray hair from head to toe. He wasn't hiding either. When the group asked, he calmly said he'd been like that since birth. But up close, the hair looked too rough and uneven, like something out of a transformation scene. Some thought it was a rare medical condition, others believed it was something unnatural. The clip left people unsettled, especially because no one ever saw that man in the area again. The Stretching Man. A clip surfaced online, showing a man doing something that didn't look human at all. He stood in front of a camera and began playing with his skin. It stretched far beyond what anyone expected. His arms and neck followed, bending and stretching like soft rubber. Some thought it was editing or makeup, but others said it looked too natural to be fake. A few even mentioned a rare condition that makes the skin extremely elastic. But this seemed different, almost like his whole body was built that way. Whatever the reason, people couldn't stop replaying it in disbelief. Robed figure. In a small town in Rajasthan, a street vendor named Romesh captured something truly unusual on his phone. A tall figure was walking down the road, wrapped in bright robes that looked almost ceremonial, but its face didn't look human. The eyes were too sharp, and its head came to a pointed cone at the top. It moved in an odd, slow rhythm, with a limp that didn't seem natural. Nobody approached it, and it didn't seem interested in talking to anyone either. It just kept moving down the street until it disappeared into a corner, leaving everyone quietly staring and confused. Winged creature. A farmer in Greece went viral after sharing a video of what looked like a real-life Pegasus. In the clip, a brown horse stood in an open field, but attached to its back were two huge gray wings that twitched slightly in the wind. The man behind the camera claimed it was the result of a hybrid experiment he'd been working on. Some viewers believed it was edited, while others thought maybe the wings were surgically attached. Whatever the truth, the animal looked oddly calm, grazing like it didn't even know how strange it was. The mystery still hasn't been cleared up. The Headless Walker.
¿Será que como morís?
One night, a few young bikers were riding through quiet streets when something strange caught their attention. A man walking alone, but his head wasn't visible. At first, they thought it was a trick of the light, but even when they got closer, the figure still looked headless. The boys stopped their bikes, trying to understand what they were seeing, but the man just kept walking calmly, disappearing around the corner. They left the area quickly, still shaken by what they saw. Later, when they told others, no one believed them until the video surfaced, and even then, people weren't sure what to think.
¿Quedás?
Horned trail entity. A trail camera deep in the woods captured a chilling sight. A horned figure standing in front of it, staring straight at the lens. The creature's body was covered in dark fur, its teeth visible even in the low light, and there were several arrow-like shapes stuck in its back. It didn't charge or move aggressively. It just stood there, breathing heavily, before slowly walking away. The footage spread online fast, with some calling it fake, and others insisting it was real. Whatever that thing was, it definitely wasn't just a person in costume. The eerie calm it carried made it even more disturbing. Raining chickens. A quiet morning in a small town turned chaotic when people noticed something falling from the clouds, and it wasn't raining. Live chickens began landing on the streets, flapping their wings, and wandering around like they just arrived from another world. Everyone came outside to watch, laughing and panicking at the same time. Weather experts had no clue what to say, and the locals were left guessing whether this was some freak air current or just a bizarre coincidence. The scene ended as quickly as it began, but people still talk about that day when chickens literally fell from the sky. Frozen man. A strange clip from Durham, North Carolina, left people confused and uneasy. It shows a man standing completely still in what looks like an office hallway. His head is tilted all the way back, eyes wide open, and his mouth frozen mid-expression, like he's stuck in time. The camera zooms in, but he doesn't move, not even a blink. Some viewers joked that it was a glitch in real life, while others thought it looked more like a trance. A few said he suddenly snapped back to normal right after the video ended. Whatever happened, that few seconds of footage didn't feel normal at all. Blue sky trails. On the night of August 25th, 2025, people in several cities of Japan noticed something strange above them. Bright blue lights moving across the sky in long, perfect lines. They weren't blinking like planes or shooting like stars, just floating smoothly as if being guided. Some thought it looked magical, like something out of a fantasy movie. Others believed it might be drones or a test of new satellite tech. But when no official explanation came out, the mystery only grew. Videos from different angles showed the same glowing trails, making it harder to call them fake. Whatever they were, they left people amazed and uneasy.
Holy sh**. Oh my god.
Hidden discovery. When Nate Williams bought an old house on the edge of town, he thought he'd found a great deal. Everything looked normal until he decided to check the garage a few weeks later. In the corner sat a sealed wooden crate, dusty and half buried under old tools. When Nate pried it open, he froze. Inside was something he couldn't explain. A gray, leathery figure with long teeth and hollow eyes, almost like a fossil of a creature that shouldn't exist. He filmed it briefly before shutting the box again. The previous owner refused to talk about it, and Nate moved out soon after. Midnight encounter. A man from a small Indian village shared a story that still gives people chills. One night, he was walking home when he spotted an elderly man standing on the road. Thinking he might need help, he got closer, but then froze. The man's feet weren't normal. They looked like animal hooves. The stranger just stared for a moment before slowly stepping toward him. The man backed away and ran, not daring to look back. He later shared the clip online, saying it was the strangest thing he'd ever seen. Viewers argued if it was real or a prank, but no one's ever found out. Forest figures. A group of hikers in a remote forest came across something that didn't feel right. As they moved deeper, they noticed shapes emerging from the trees. Tall, thin figures standing unnaturally still. Their skin looked pale and worn, and they didn't speak a word. The strangest part was how they moved. Slow, hesitant, almost as if they weren't supposed to be seen. The group quietly backed away, but one figure suddenly turned its head toward them, following their every step. To this day, no one knows who or what those people were or why they were standing there in silence. The Painted Woman. Late at night, on an empty street, a driver noticed a woman walking barefoot, clutching a small stuffed toy. Her face was painted entirely white, and her eyes never blinked. She was mumbling and waving her hands like she was arguing with someone invisible. The driver slowed down, curious but uneasy. When he called out to her, she suddenly froze, turning her head toward him in complete silence. That's when he decided to drive off fast. The footage later posted online left everyone creeped out, not because of what she did, but because of how she looked. Too calm, too still, almost not human. Field creature encounter. A man driving through a quiet field late at night caught something strange on camera. At first, he thought it was just a stray animal crossing the road, but as he slowed down, the creature's shape became clearer. It was walking on all fours, but didn't look like any animal he'd ever seen. Its body was oddly small, the movements too deliberate, and the head almost human-like. It paused for a second, then crawled into the darkness as the driver froze in confusion. Later, when he rewatched the video, the thing still didn't make sense. Too small to be human, too strange to be anything else. Filipinian anomaly. In a small village in the Philippines, a few men spotted something odd perched high in a tree. It had a strange mix of features, a human-like body but a face that looked part koala, part beaver. They filmed it, hoping someone online could explain it, but no one could. The creature moved slowly, turning its head like it was watching them, before crawling deeper into the leaves. Some locals say it could be a forest spirit, while others think it's an unknown species. Whatever it was, that video added one more mystery to the long list of strange creatures said to roam the Philippines. Mothman returns.
What? I'm recording it. What the hell is?
A chilling video from West Virginia shows a shadowy, winged creature flying across the sky at night. Its eyes glowed bright red, and its wings were wide enough to cover a car. The footage reminded people of the old Mothman stories, an eerie creature said to appear before disasters. Some think it's just a large bird caught in the camera light, while others believe it's something beyond explanation. What made this video stand out was how silent the creature was. No flapping, no sound, just a dark shape gliding smoothly through the air before vanishing into the clouds. Giant alley cat.
Am I dreaming?
A man walking home through a narrow alley in the evening noticed something moving ahead. When he pointed his camera toward it, he realized it was a massive cat, much larger than any house cat he'd ever seen. It stood still for a few seconds, eyes glowing faintly, before turning and vanishing into the shadows. The man ran back out of the alley, but the video he captured later left viewers stunned. Was it a trick of perspective, or a real creature that just hadn't been documented yet? Whatever it was, it definitely didn't look like your ordinary feline. The giant rock. Somewhere in South Africa, travelers stumbled upon a massive boulder sitting in a strange crater. It looked like a rock, but its texture was too smooth, and its surface shimmered faintly in the sunlight. Locals said it wasn't there a few months ago. Scientists who visited the site were baffled. The crater around it looked like something had fallen from above. Rumors spread that it might be a meteor or an artifact of some kind, but no one's been able to move it, test it, or explain how it got there. It's just sitting there, silent, as if waiting to be understood. Headless commuter. At Central Station one late evening, a group of travelers spotted something that didn't make sense. A woman stood quietly near the edge of the platform, but her reflection on the shiny floor looked wrong. It showed no head at all. People nearby froze, unsure whether it was a trick of the light or something else. One person filmed it, and the video spread instantly. Some called it an optical illusion caused by a shadow or lighting glitch, but others were convinced it was something paranormal. The most unsettling part? The woman turned and walked away right before the train arrived, and no one saw her leave the station. The floating shape. A quiet evening in Los Angeles took a strange turn when people noticed something hovering high in the sky. It wasn't a plane or a drone, just a dark shape hanging still against the clouds. Someone started filming, and for minutes, it didn't move at all. Then, slowly, it drifted sideways before fading from sight. Some thought it was a balloon caught in a strange air current, but others felt uneasy about how steady it stayed. The shape's outline even appeared to shift, almost like wings folding in and out. Whatever it was, the eerie silence around it made the whole thing feel otherworldly. The moving fish. A group of fishermen in Indonesia found what they called a zombie fish washed up near the shore. Some of its organs were missing, yet it was still wriggling and moving as if alive. Some thought it was a trick of nerves, but scientists suggested it might be parasites inside the body that kept it moving. The strangest part? When the fishermen touched it, the fish reacted like it could sense them. This phenomenon had been seen before in insects, but never in fish. Whether it was science or something completely new, it's safe to say that everyone who saw that video felt a chill run down their spine. Field circle mystery. In Kentucky, a farmer checking his field cameras found something shocking. A perfect circle had appeared overnight in his cornfield. It looked as if the plants had been pressed down in seconds, forming a neat round shape. The CCTV footage showed a strange glow just before the formation appeared, but nothing else nearby. The farmer had set up the cameras to catch deer, not this. What made it stranger was that similar shapes appeared in nearby towns the same week, with people also reporting glowing orbs in the sky. Whether it was nature, a prank, or something out of this world, no one could say for sure. Tiny bridge creature. Late one night in Piura, Peru, 2 security guards were patrolling when they spotted something odd crossing a bridge. It was small, hunched, and walking upright like a human, but clearly wasn't one. They shined their lights and even whistled at it. but the creature didn't stop or look back. Instead, it just kept moving slowly, wearing what looked like white cloth. The guard's dog started barking non-stop as it disappeared into the dark. When they checked the footage later, they couldn't explain what they'd seen. Some joked it looked like a tiny person. Others said it might be a spirit. Whatever it was, it left everyone confused and creeped out. Safe discovery.
A ver cómo está.
In a dimly lit video, a man is seen exploring what looks like an abandoned house. The place is dusty and quiet until he opens a small metal safe in the corner. Inside, there's something that looks alive. A dark, shapeless lump with tendrils slowly moving on their own. The man steps back, clearly shocked, and says he found it a few days after bringing home a strange rock that had fallen from the sky. Viewers couldn't decide if it was a hoax or an actual creature. Whatever it was, the movement looked too real, leaving people uneasy long after watching. Pipe nightmare. A family in Indonesia started noticing a strange smell coming from their kitchen sink. Thinking it was just a clog, they decided to check it themselves instead of calling a plumber. But when they removed the pipe, a mass of thick, squirming worms started sliding out. It looked like something straight out of a horror movie. Thousands of them tangled together, moving as one. The grayish blobs at the ends looked like tiny heads, making it even worse to look at. The family immediately called pest control, who said they'd never seen anything like it. Needless to say, they replaced the entire sink the very next day. Night road entity. A man driving through San Miguel late one night took a wrong turn down a deserted country road. While checking his GPS, he caught something in his side mirror, a dark figure standing just beyond the headlights. When he turned his head, it was right next to his window. Its eyes glowed red, its skin looked shadowy and stretched, and it didn't move or speak. The driver froze for a second before speeding off in panic. Locals later claimed that the same road has had strange sightings for years, but no one has ever managed to capture clear footage of whatever roams there. The frozen grave. In Osmaniye, Turkey, a quiet cemetery became the center of attention when one grave suddenly froze over in warm weather. There was no snow or frost around, but this single grave was covered in a thick layer of ice. Even the grass on top of it turned crystal white. Locals visiting the area were stunned, and some even whispered that the person buried there must have had some connection to something divine. Scientists said it could be due to underground gases or temperature pockets, but even they admitted it was unusual. The frozen grave stayed that way for days before slowly thawing, still leaving behind more questions than answers. Spined water creature. Off a small coastal area in Thailand, someone recorded a creature gliding just under the surface of the water. Only its sharp, bumpy ridges were visible, cutting through the waves like a line of spikes. It wasn't big, but the movements looked purposeful, as if it knew it was being watched. Some thought it might be a new kind of fish or eel, while others said it looked mechanical. The clip ends just as it dives deeper, leaving only ripples behind. For a short, unclear moment, it gave the world one of the strangest sightings caught on camera. Mini horse mystery. A video from a rural area shows something people can't quite explain. A tiny creature walking across a dirt path, shaped exactly like a miniature horse. Its body, mane, and tail all moved naturally, as if it were a real animal, just shrunken down to the size of a cat. The clip quickly went viral because it didn't look edited or fake. Some said it might be a mutation or an unknown species. Others joked it was a baby mythical creature. No one knows where the video came from, but the way it trots across the path feels almost unreal. River of Red. In Lima, Peru, a calm river suddenly turned a shocking shade of red. People gathered around, confused and worried as the water continued to flow like liquid color. Officials quickly arrived to test it, claiming it was safe, but locals didn't feel reassured. Some thought it was pollution. Others said it was a bad omen. But when the same thing happened again a few days later, even scientists were puzzled. Videos of the glowing crimson water spread worldwide, and while explanations ranged from mineral runoff to industrial waste, the truth behind the Ryak River's transformation remains just as murky. Backward crowd. One afternoon, a man filming in a busy downtown area caught something totally bizarre. Dozens of people on the sidewalk were walking backward. Not fast, not confused, just perfectly in sync, as if the world had glitched for a few moments. No one else seemed to notice. Then, just as suddenly, everyone stopped, blinked, and began walking forward again like nothing happened. The clip went viral, and while some said it was staged, others swore it was real. Whatever the truth, it's the kind of footage that makes you wonder how much control we actually have in our day-to-day lives. Forest smoke shape. While walking alone through Redwood National Park, a hiker noticed something strange drifting between the trees. It looked like a thick, smoky figure, moving smoothly, almost like it had a mind of its own. He kept recording, and right then, a small, glowing object shot straight out of the haze. It didn't behave like dust or fog. It moved way too precisely. Some people think it could have been a trick of light, but others believe it's something beyond our world, maybe even a sign of a hidden energy in the woods. Whatever it was, the hiker clearly knew he had just caught something unusual. Burning from within.
There's a fire.
A man exploring the woods at night noticed a faint red glow deep between the trees. As he got closer, he realized it was coming from inside a tree trunk, like the tree itself was glowing from within. The bark looked untouched, but there was smoke rising nearby, almost like something underground was breathing. The man stood there for a few seconds, unsure if it was safe to get closer. The glow didn't fade. It pulsed, as if alive. People online suggested everything from chemical reactions to paranormal energy, but the fact that the tree never burned still makes this one seriously strange. Boy and water. This clip shows a man by a quiet lakeside, standing completely still with his hands moving in slow, steady patterns. At first, it looks like he's just mimicking something, but when you notice the water ripples, perfectly following his every move, it gets unsettling. Every wave seems controlled, timed exactly to his gestures. Some viewers joked it's just wind or camera timing, but others aren't so sure. The whole moment feels oddly synchronized, like he and the water were connected somehow. Whether it's a trick or something more, that eerie calm and control left people replaying the video again and again. Living fruit. This short clip went viral for all the wrong reasons. It starts with someone peeling a banana, but the fruit inside isn't normal. It's moving. Slow, steady pulses run through it, almost like it has a heartbeat. Then it shifts slightly, crawling across the table in a way that no fruit should. Viewers were completely grossed out. Some said it might be a parasite inside, others thought it was a lab experiment gone wrong. But since the uploader never revealed where it came from, no one could confirm anything. It's one of those clips that stick in your head because it just feels wrong. Alien transportation. Daniel Smith was on his usual morning drive when something weird caught his eye. A massive transparent truck rolling down the highway. Inside the tank, there were dark shapes floating in a thick liquid. At first, he thought it might be props or lab samples, but the longer he looked, the more real it seemed. The shapes had long black tendrils that moved slowly, like they were alive. What creeped him out most was how casually the truck drove by, like there was nothing strange about it. Even after reaching work, Daniel couldn't shake the feeling that he'd just seen something not meant for human eyes. Lake creature. At Stowe Lake in San Francisco, a marine biologist was feeding fish when something strange surfaced near him. At first glance, it looked like a face, a mix between a human and a sheep. But as it swam closer, he realized it had tentacles. The creature moved gracefully, not aggressive, just curious. It gently reached out for the food before vanishing back into the murky water. The man shared the footage online, and people were divided. Some thought it was a mutated squid, others said it could be an undiscovered species. Whatever it was, it left even a trained scientist completely speechless.
Thank you very much for watching the video. Share in the comments and do like the video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again,